As I said in my first video, sometimes what you do can be quite dangerous. So it didn't seem like such a big deal to me. I just started watching Good Morning America, as I do on many a morning, and on came this man and his wife, and they were talking about their year without a purchase. Scott and Gabby DanneMiller began an adventure that they hoped would be a spiritual practice for them, that they would have an entire year in which they did not purchase the absolute essentials. So I got their book, and on December 1st, 2015, Lynn and I began the year without a purchase. It has been a fascinating year. Some of Dan Miller's guidelines in his book we applied, and some we tweaked for what we would think fit our situation the best. So what is true is this: you'll carry a lot less money in your wallet, because for us, not sure how you may want to do it if you want to try it, is we only allowed ourselves to buy really 3 things. That which was essential food, things related to our own health, and third, we allowed ourselves to buy others experiences that built connection. So let me share a little bit about what happened in that year. The first thing was things break. We hadn't been into the year a week, first week of December 2015, and our thermostat breaks. So we decided, as is the rules in the book, one is that you try and fix it yourself. Well, you can forget that. Neither of us does thermostat repair. Second is you could try and have it repaired unless it is more expensive than buying a new one. So the oil company of which we have a contract with, they said, well, no problem, we can install a thermostat, but it was not the programmable kind. So every night we would have this routine. Did you turn down the thermostat? We wound up eventually laughing about it. But I think what happened is we had many things break. The next big one, the most painful one of the year for me, was the crock pot. Well, we borrow Cheryl and Pat's crock pot now when we need it. And Cheryl just told me the other day, by the way, I have a second crock pot, so why don't you keep that one to the end of the year without a purchase, which is the last day of November 2016. So let me share with you a couple of things that have happened. When Scott DanneMiller began his, he said in the first 2 months of his year without a purchase, he gained 7 pounds. So I decided I wasn't going to be about gaining 7 pounds. So I said to myself, what am I doing to fill the time I would spend shopping? Now, it became very interesting. I would not have called myself a shopper, but at closer look during this year, I can't believe how often I will go into a store, at least in the first couple of months, and I'd pass by the CDs and I'd say, oh, that one looks interesting. Maybe I could get that. And then I'd say, oh no, this is the year without a purchase. I can't get that. Now, I don't have over 2,000 songs already on my devices that I need another CD, that I couldn't go into my computer and listen to it on YouTube for free. It has been interesting to me as the year has gone on how I desire less and less. I just don't miss the time that was spent shopping. I now do other things with that time. I hang out more at home. I do things that don't cost money, and I do them with friends as opposed to something that's sort of quick and not as connecting. I do have to say I've become very creative. So I want to continue the art that I've been working on, but I couldn't buy anything in this 12-month period. So I got very creative. So this is an art project that came out of a 3-gift set that someone gave to our dog for Christmas. And I wanted to think about what lies just below the surface for so many of us, but just really doesn't come to the surface for one reason or another. So I took this box, worked up some tissue paper I already had and paint, and made roots. And then I created sort of underneath the 3 holes, 3 things that I think lie under the surface for most of us. Excuse me. Then I thought I needed lids. So I just took cardboard, covered it with tissue paper, and went out to Pendle Hill and got some nice branches. Oh no, I got those branches in our neighborhood on an evening dog walk, and made nice little lids for my box. So I think it's really caused me to increase my creativity and consequently in my feeling of confidence and competence. Now you might say, how does this work when you really need a gift? Well, you think about having an experience together rather than buying something. And let me just say that the book is fascinating in that Scott and Gabby try and do that with 2 small children. And they wind up using things they have at home to make science experiments that they take to their friends' birthday parties. And that's what they give them, like things that like Mentos and something soda put together and then like explode like a volcano. And they were worried about how their kids would be treated with such gifts that they brought. And yet it seemed like family after family was looking forward to the time when they could work on the experiments, and then they gave them this great feedback that they really enjoyed it. So, every couple has its series of gift-giving time. And in our house, we have anniversaries, as you do in yours, and Valentine's Day and birthday. And so I had some canvases around, and I had some photos, and I had some tissue paper. So I thought, what could I make that's sort of a chronology of our life together and our really great times that we've had of deep connection, and wound up putting together this, and I didn't have a frame, so you can see what I did kind of stick-wise for that, and use what is so great and many of us don't use, and that is duct tape for absolutely everything. That allowed me to hear my branches, and then I just covered them over with tissue paper, the duct tape, so you wouldn't see those. And it hangs in our house, and it's not just that momentary like gift that's done and used, but we look at it all the time. It's in a stairwell, and every time we go up and down, and I think of the many years we've had together, and I feel grateful, and I feel thankful for this particular person, for Lynn in my life. And so I think that and then it causes us just to remember all those connections. I have to say that we did make an exception. That is if you get a gift. Yes, that is a $100 bill. If you get a gift from someone, you should feel free to use that on something that you want. So we have savored the gift cards more than you would normally savor a gift card. Sometimes we even forget we had them, but when you're not spending money and you get a gift card, you're like, wow, that's really nice. So we've enjoyed the gift cards we've received. This was a gift for doing a wedding, which I greatly received. But guess what? This wedding was a long time ago. Months and months and months. And I still have that $100 bill. Now, I'm savoring it for something I really want to spend on. Before, I would have spent that within the week I got it. So it really has taught me how to wait to determine the difference between need and want, necessity and non-essential. So that's been a great thing, to have that kind of discipline of being able to wait or not do, not just do because I have it. So I would like to recommend to you this book, The Year Without a Purchase by Scott DanneMiller, DanneMiller. We do have it in our resource library, and right now it is featured on our book table in the fellowship hall, which you can enjoy and pick up and look at and take out during our social hour each Sunday after worship. So let me just say that I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever done. The hardest part is actually the final weeks. I don't know why, it just seems like it's particularly hard, but I know that as with when I trained for the Philadelphia DC bike ride, I cut out in my training all drinking of soda. And if I drink 1 or 2 sodas a year since then, and that has been over 15 years ago, that's a lot. So I am looking forward to seeing the ways in which in the upcoming year, starting December 1st for me, how this year without a purchase has really helped me sort through some things in life and be much more intentional about what I own, what I take, what I spend. And again, I'd highly recommend the book. It'll change your life.